Good morning, good day, and good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of the Mayfield Mysteries. Firstly, welcome to the Blackwater Podcast Network. If you didn't know, we also have a live play D&D on Twitch, but you can find the episodes here in podcast form if that's what you prefer. Also, go find us on Patreon if you want to support us further and see some goodies that we don't just make available to everyone. I'm Yanis, your game master for this lovely adventure, and I'm joined on the deck of this active aircraft carrier by the effervescent M, the audacious Adam, the loquacious Jess, and the artist formerly known as Cody. The circling planes are running low on fuel, so let's get going. Previously on Mayfield Mysteries, the Rollers returned to Sara-Beth's farm only to discover that Uncle Bill was more than he appeared. Working for a government organization known as the NWT, he was tasked to protect this small town. With the help of Izzy and Uncle Bill, our heroes make their way back to Tina's home. There they discover Richard Brighton, and after a tense showdown, Brighton escapes with Tina's grandmother as hostage. Izzy and Uncle Bill head off to pursue them, leaving the Rollers behind with mixed emotions and a sense of haplessness. They decide it's time to stop letting the adults call all the shots and to take the lead. They head off to enter back into the Nexium with new resolve and something resembling a plan. Earth crunches under your boots as you lug a heavy pack up the steep slope of the mountain, the straps digging into your shoulders. Tina, you follow your dad along the winding path of this remote mountain range. Your bag is heavy, but it's nothing compared to the monstrous pack on your dad. Filled with a wide array of tools and instruments, on his back he carries a mobile workstation. You reach an outcropping that seems to offer a small space of level ground. "We can set up here," you hear your dad yell over the howling wind. Though not overly cold, the wind being funneled down through the valleys between the mountain whips your hair around. Your glasses being securely held in place by the wire you fixed them with earlier that day. Your dad pulls out a compass and holds it up. "Yeah, this is the spot," he exclaims as he drops his pack and starts unpacking a variety of small machines and meters of different varieties. He moves to raise a post that has a small little wind turbine spinning at the end. You see the wind spin the wheel. It whips your dad's hair around. You see the trees move in the valley below. It all moves in sync, perfectly together in unison. Just then, a huge gust of wind comes barreling down the valley. Your dad is at the edge of the plateau on his tiptoes, reaching up and adjusting another instrument on the post when it hits him. You see him fall, flailing his arms as he tries to get his balance. You feel a moment of panic as you're seeing him potentially go over the edge. But then you see the way the wind is moving and the balance of it all and how it shifts. And you feel your hands move as if on their own, as if the wind is shifting them. And suddenly the wind rotates, pushing your dad back up onto the ledge. It must have been a change in the wind that caught your hands and pulled them along, or at least that's what you tell yourself. And now you stare down at your hands, a small trickle of blood on your fingertip as you press it on the runes carved in the back of your grandmother's closet. And they light up, and the four of you stand in front of the archway. The smaller archway, that is.
Hope this works the second time.
She said we have to go to the library and find a red orb, like a red ball. And that if Billy comes through, that we throw it at him. And something about speeding up his aging, because he's like really old.
That's all we've got.
You guys walk through the little mini archway, and you find yourself back in that quartz room at the base of the castle. You see the staircase that you guys came down with her before, and you guys sort of make your way back up the stairs, and you pass the huge dining hall that was empty except for one table and one seat, and eventually you come to the floor where there's a massive library.
Okay, so are we just like Are we just gonna only look for the orb, or can we look for other things too?
I mean, there's probably a wealth of knowledge here. Maybe we should spread out and see what we can find. We should focus on finding the orb, but
I can look for the orb. I think a wealth of knowledge might be wasted on me. I'm good at finding shit.
Okay. Bigger library than I've ever seen, my goodness.
Is there any clear organizational, are we in a Dewey Decimal situation here, or?
Yeah, how's that
No,
Dewey Decimal system?
The books, at first, when you look at them, it looks like they've been arranged by color of the bindings, sort of at first. And then it sort of stops seeming like that's the organization method. And then you realize that was just sort of like a fluke of that section. And it's just all very, very random. And it's sort of this weird sort of circular room where the walls are just entirely books. And at the center of the room is this massive table with books open and sprawled across it, and all sorts of little tinkering tools and sets of little bronze scales.
Tina's gonna go straight for the open books and try and see what was being poured over recently.
You see some of the books are written in a text that you recognize. They sort of speak about the flow of time and how magic can influence how that flows, both in terms of speeding it up and slowing it down. You see a lot of books in languages with characters that you don't recognize. Weird symbols that look kind of like other languages that you've seen on Earth, but not quite the same, or parts of it might be the same. You're not that familiar with the languages. You kind of get the impression that anything that was written specifically about the magic of it would have been written in the language that was native to that world.
can't make much of this out. But
what can you make out? Anything good?
I mean, there's some stuff about time, and I don't know. It would take years, decades even, to pour over everything in here.
Spells like fireball or something.
Don't think it works like that, but
I don't know.
I'll keep looking.
Different dimensions. Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe it does work like that. I don't know. This is everything I thought I knew is completely out the window, to be honest with you.
Exactly.
So I shouldn't make fun of you.
Labeled fireball.
Yeah, I guess we should look for it. If we see fireball spells, Jesus, I can't believe I'm saying this.
I'm gonna look for the orb. But I hope you find a fireball.
Trent, you don't need to look all that hard. You glance down at the table where these books are open, and you see a bunch of sort of these scales, like weigh scales with little heaps of red powder and some with little heaps of white powder, and next to them you see a sort of small, relatively small, sort of ornate chest.
I pop the chest open.
Inside is a blue velvet sort of cushion with this blood red orb that sits in a glass orb with a sort of it's like a white smoke that sort of like billows around on the inside of it.
Found it. Hey, SB, you said we have to throw this at him?
I think so.
Sweet.
I'm guessing so. I don't know if you have to crack it over his head or something. Did Izzy say specifically what I was supposed to do with it?
She said to throw it at him.
Okay.
Great. Giannis, one of the two things that I chose is skilled at, and the specific thing that I wrote in the skilled outline is throwing. I have the skilled at
That's
throwing.
so perfect.
I'm a quarterback. I'm good at throwing things.
He's gonna perfect
Seeing,
spiral that
Ball
way.
back. Great. Yeah. Is it in a slightly ovoid shape?
Yeah, it's got these weird little ridges on the top
Hell
too
yeah.
that are almost like laces.
I light up the
Seeing
fingers.
Seeing Trent kind of like hold it with the adeptness that I could never. I was like, yeah, you hold on to it. You're supposed to
Okay.
hold that, I think.
I'm pretty good at throwing, so
I know.
fireball.
That's basically it.
Avery, would it help if I yelled fireball when I threw this at him?
It would help
Yeah,
me.
absolutely.
Great.
Yeah.
Can do. Fuck yeah.
While they're, after Trent finds the orb, can I want to go. I just want to go to like a random corner. You know what? No, I want to go look where the books are the oldest. I want
Okay.
to go look where the books are really, really old.
Okay.
Dusty,
doesn't seem-
like not
yeah.
looked at.
Yeah, there is a sort of a section in the, well, as back as a circle can be, sort of like as far from the table, so that
Yeah.
you get the impression the table's sort of been shifted near where the books are that are most relevant to what Izzy was working on. But there's a section sort of in the back where there are a bunch of books that you can't even make out the what's written on the spines of them. They're aged and brittle, and you pull out the sort of the biggest
Yeah.
of them, the oldest, the dustiest, and
I smell it before I open it.
it's that same smell of old books, but it's so much more intense. It's like an entire library of old books in one book. And just from the smell, you can tell that this book, Izzy's never opened this book. This book has not been opened since the Nexium was closed, like thousands of years ago.
I think Sara-Beth sits down and like crisscross applesauce and cracks the book open to the first page.
You open the book and you look down at the text on the page, and it's not any letters that you're familiar with. The characters are very strange. They're very sort of alien, but there's a sort of a real beauty to their appearance, to the geometric nature of them. And as you like look at them in sort of the from the perspective of, oh, these are just pretty shapes and a very interesting book, they start to shift. And not in the sense that they start to shift into things that you can understand. It's more that shape, you see a tree, and then the next shape you hear a stream, and by the time you reach the fourth or the fifth sort of clump of figures, you're sitting in a woods with a soft babbling brook near you, and you're not in the library anymore.
Can I look around? Do I see anyone?
You see a group of people riding up on horseback. They're wearing sort of like chainmail armor, swords on their hips, and they come sort of trotting along on horseback. And you see in the distance, approaching from the other side, you see these massive bear-like humanoid creatures standing on hind legs, massive axes in their hands as a group of them approach these people on horseback.
Do they see me?
They don't. If they see you, they
Does
don't
Sara-Beth
acknowledge
disappear
you.
from the room, or is Sara-Beth still sitting there for us? Okay.
No, she's sitting there looking at the book.
The folks who are on horseback, are they closer to me?
Yeah, they've sort of slowed where you are sitting.
Do I need to leave?
They don't react.
Okay. So I
You
think
see these bear-like creatures draw close, and they sort of face one another. And the human on the horse that is at the front of the procession, he sort of calls out and says, "Greetings. We are from the convoy of Earth. Hail and well met." And the bear sort of roars a response. And Sara-Beth, roll me a brains, please.
I do love to roll brains. That's my second highest stat with a D12.
Yeah.
Grit and brains. I don't know where she gets them from. Not at all. Okay. That's an 11.
Oh. You get the impression that this scene that you are witnessing is a record of some of the initial meetings between the different peoples from the different worlds here on the Nexium, and that they've somehow been recorded in this sort of almost like three-dimensional sensory book experience.
Cool. I think for a moment I let that play out. And can I, now that I'm in the scene, am I cognizant enough to try and see if I can find one with Billy in it? Record of when he made contact? Can I like search the book for that?
Yeah, I think this book would have been from even before his time.
Okay.
Billy's sort of revolution, I'm hesitant to call it. Billy's sort of like aggression against the Nexium happened sort of at the end of Earth's relationship with the rest of the worlds. This was sort of like one of the first meetings that people were making. This was like when when humans discovered the Nexium. So this would have been predating even Billy. There might be another book in here that speaks of that, but it is not this one.
Okay. I think I would linger just kind of watching the scene for a moment, realizing that I'm seeing something that no one has seen.
And it's weird, in the moment that you are there, you feel like you're standing in this field, and you can also sort of feel yourself sitting with the book in your lap. And when you finally decide that you've had enough, as you close the book, the world sort of returns to normal in that same sort of closing fashion, like a transition almost, as it closes like a book and you're back in the library.
I call out to Tina at the table. If we can find a book that's kind of like this one, but newer. Find something like this one, but newer. If you sit and you read, it'll like take you there. I think it's like, you know how like sometimes when you read, it's almost like a movie starts playing in your head. It's like that, but you're in it.
Okay.
Tina's going to turn to Avery and say, "Fireball, I guess."
Fireball.
Fireball. And she's going to go and start looking for, I guess, is there any particular quality of it that makes it look different from the other books?
There's no quality on the outside, as this book is really faded, and the cover is very nondescript. The text is very unique, though. This sort of like holodeck book, essentially, text is very unique to this book. So you do start to find other books that have similar text and depict similar things, but you don't find anything that has any sort of record of Billy.
Well, it was worth a shot.
Is there anything then to be found amongst the sort of bits and bobs and trinkets and gadgetry on the table? Can Tina, does she have any sense of like what was being done here, or what sort of processes all these things were undergoing?
Yeah, you're looking at the different apparatus and stuff that are on the table here, and you get the impression that some of these different powders affect the magnetism, like the magnetic fields that come off of these archways. You get the impression that the magnetic fields can both block and increase some of the magical influence that is inherent in the Nexium. So whether or not you would be able to you wouldn't be able to figure out on your own how to recreate what she's made here without like much further study, but you get the idea that this would make some sort of cloud or dust vapor that would essentially cut him off from the magic that is prolonging his life.
I'll pass that along to the rest of the group and sort of tell them what I can see.
Yeah, so sort of like a smoke bomb, where the smoke is essentially a shield, and you can see the diagram. She has a sort of like in one of the books, she has a sort of a drawing of a figure with these sort of like coils of smoke going up in a sort of helix around the figure.
I think we found the right thing, so...
Well, good thing we have this, but I mean, Uncle Bill's gonna get him anyway, right? So I guess we just wait.
We should head to the portal.
Is there anything else we can do while we're on this side? It's just kind of a waiting game at this point, but I don't want to just wait. It feels stupid, and I feel bad for getting so down before, but there's got to be something else we can do.
We could go through the portal.
Through it?
That's true.
Well, Billy will be probably focused on your uncle and Izzy coming from one direction. He's probably not going to expect us to come from another.
Hit him in the flank.
That's true.
How will we know when, though?
Also, do we know if does this ball work there?
Great question.
On the other side? I don't know.
You do recall that she said that it would only work on this side in like 2 episodes ago.
Right, like stuff here works here.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
Magic
magic
works
works here, magic doesn't work
magic.
there.
That's why he's stuck.
He's stuck
Right.
and he's tethered to the sort of like leakage that comes out of the arch.
Otherwise, he could just freely go back and forth. Right.
Exactly.
Shit.
Okay. Okay.
I guess,
I guess we just wait.
So just wait.
So you guys make your way back down the stairs, back to the quartz room, and you sort of set yourselves up facing the main gate.
Before we set ourselves up,
Mhm.
can I just do a quick... Can I find anything, like any jars filled with liquids or things that look like they could be slippery?
Yeah.
Like jams, preserves?
Yeah, you find a sort of a in the dining hall area. You find sort of a pantry of sorts, and there is an assortment of preserves and jams and oils, but you also notice that some of the things are stuff that she's snuck out to buy in the real world, or like Tina's grandmother has like snuck for her. So there's like a bottle of like Heinz ketchup, and there's like things from the now. So like there's all this like sort of weird fantasy medieval stuff, but then there's also just like stuff from a store that
I would like to look for the closest equivalent to popcorn butter.
I don't know if there
I expect
there's
fantasy
probably-
berries. These are just blueberries.
yeah. There's probably some sort of like cooking oil, which is probably going to be the closest that you get.
Great, I'm gonna go with the cooking oil and a thing of Heinz ketchup because that's the burger, represent the burger.
Okay,
And I'm going to dump out both right in front of the portal. So anyone coming through that portal is stepping straight into oil and
Just
ketchup.
slippery mess. Okay. All right.
I'm sorry, Adam. Are you gonna make them touch the goo? Is that what you're
I'm
doing?
gonna make them touch that goo.
Touch the goo.
It transcends.
Make them
Transcends all
Looney
stories.
Tunes out of the portal.
Yep. Goo is eternal.
Goo's
Yeah,
love.
you make your way back down to the portal area, and you set up your sweet, sweet booby trap. Adam is just
Or, like,
full of all
gooby
sorts
trap.
of traps, traps and MacGyvers.
Dude, that's just Adam
I
poking
know.
through.
You guys are down there, and you're waiting, and it feels impossibly long. It can't have been more than 10 minutes, but it feels like you're just waiting. And right when you're about to sort of give up hope that something's going to happen, you see the glow start on the ground and pull up to the archway, and the archway lights up, and you see through it comes a familiar silhouette. It's Izzy. She steps through, and the light goes out behind her, and she clasps her stomach, and you see crimson blood gushing through her fingers as she falls to her knees, and she holds her stomach and she looks up at you.
I rush up to catch her, and I pull my I have a first aid kit in my backpack. I pull out. It's not going to help, but I pull out my first aid kit and try and see what's wrong.
You see that she's been stabbed, and she's holding this wound as the blood is just blooming across her clothes, and she reaches for you, Tina. She reaches out her hand.
I take it.
She grabs your hand, and she looks up at you, and she says, I'm so sorry. You have to stop him.
What happened? You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay.
And she slumps forward, and as she does, the four of you feel this tingle and then a burning sensation as you see on your wrist that coil scar appear on all four of your wrists.
Is she dead?
Tina's gonna check her pulse.
There's no pulse.
Oh my god.
I think she's gone.
Wait, we gotta go. We have to go through now.
You
Right?
see that white start to flare up again on the ground and creep up the back wall. as that portal starts to coalesce again.
I move her. I'm like, I'm going to move her, Tina, just so she's not caught in the crossfire. And I'm going to move her out away of the way onto the side, just so that if someone comes through, they're not going to be standing on top of her, or she's not going to get trampled. Like, Izzy's still important. And so I'm just going to move her out of the way.
Tina gags, like physically ill from this.
And then the second I get back, I am going to I'm going to look at Trent and I'm going to pull the hunting rifle off my shoulder. I'm going to make sure it's loaded and ready to go. And I'm going to, oh my God, I'm facing this portal. Oh my God.
And you see another silhouette. This one slightly taller, and in its hand, a sword that you recognize as Izzy's. You see Billy step through the portal, the sword dripping with Izzy's blood. And he inhales. It's good to be back.
Does he slip? I Kevin McAllistered the shit out of the floor.
I know you did. I don't have any dice because in this system the game master doesn't roll.
Should I make a roll? Should I roll then?
Yeah, he should roll for how good his trap is.
Yeah, let's do that. Roll me. What do you think that would be? Because I honestly feel like it would be brains. That is your worst stat.
That's second worst stat.
I feel like you could argue.
I don't think you have to be very smart to oil a floor.
Okay.
What's Cody's argument?
What argument would you make?
Arguing for the grit.
Grit's worse. Grit's worse.
Okay. Well, you know what? I tried to help.
It goes charm, flight, fight.
Yeah.
I could argue fight.
I think fight. I think fight is a reasonable.
Okay.
Prepping for a fight before you oil the floor, just slapping yourself, getting pumped.
Here's the thing. Would this be considered defending my friends? This is me setting up a trap, then I get a +3 to this.
Whoa.
Because my other, it's skilled at throwing, real good at that arm, and protective. Oh, fuck, I threw it right off the table.
Don't do that.
Skilled at throwing, sure.
That's a 9 to 12.
Whoa.
12. You do succeed. You see he steps out. He inhales. Good to be fuck. And he slips. And there's a moment where he kind of he tips straight back. Like feet go out from underneath him. And he flicks his hand and he sits on like an invisible couch almost made of air. And he goes, man, it's good to have that back too.
Trent, fireball! Fireball! I'm going to spike ball this bitch and just run straight down.
You run and you throw it. Make me a roll.
Fight?
Yeah, that would be fight.
Is this a difficulty 9 or less?
No.
Okay, then I get a plus. Then I get a +3 to this. Because if it's 9 or less, I automatically succeed.
Yeah, no, it would be a 12. A 12? Task where success is impressive but completely expected for a character skill that big.
I get to roll that again, baby.
Oh,
I get to roll that again. Oh, there's a 1. So 21 +3, 24. It's like
you throw that glass orb and it
perfect spiral
spins. It's a perfect spiral, and it clocks him in the side of the face. And the effect was supposed to be magical, not like a bludgeoning
blast to the face.
But it takes on like. I think the initial plan was to throw it like at the floor and shatter it so that the smoke could come out, and you've just gone and whipped it at his head. And there's a moment of like lapse where he loses control of the spell that he's cast, and the couch disappears as well, and he like gets hit in the face and then falls in the goop, and then the ball shatters, and he's like a mess on the ground.
Sounds like you should have kept better concentration is what I'm hearing.
Exactly. But then you see the glass orb shatters, and that smoke starts to like sort of roil on the ground. But Tina, you see it doesn't move like you saw.
I don't think it's working.
He starts to roll over, and he's covered in ketchup and grease, and he stands up and he kind of looks down at the smoke. The fuck do you think you're doing with that?
Have we noticed the coils on our wrists at this point?
Yes, you have.
And I'm remembering that Izzy had this, and she said she could do magic, right?
She said that, yeah, she could do magic, yeah. Well, you don't know that Izzy could do magic. Izzy said that magic could be done here.
And we know that she had this coil on her wrist, and that she was like the keeper of the Nexium.
The protector
right?
of the protector of the portal, yeah.
I think Trent's gonna scream, Sara-Beth, shoot him! Shoot him!
Oh my god.
Bring it down.
Shoot him!
You see he brings his hand up, and in his hand, Avery, you recognize a small little spark
I shoot
slowly
him.
rotating.
I shoot him.
He's covered in oil, baby. Does he start a spark in his hand? Covered in
No,
oil?
it's not on him. It's like floating in his palm.
I think if he was going to aggress towards us.
All right.
I shoot him.
Roll me a fight.
This is fight.
This is 100% fight. You're shooting a gun at a person.
That's fight.
Now, if the DC on this is the same as before,
I don't remember what it was.
it was 16.
Was to hit the tire. This is a dude
That was hit the
right in
tire.
front of
This
you.
is just a person, like
Yeah.
full body, like
Okay. Because fight is my lowest score.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's
roll that
probably like
D4.
a 4 or a 5. The task where success is likely for all characters except those who aren't skilled.
I have to roll a 3. and above.
D4's more likely to explode. That,
Yep.
It's true.
You got this,
yeah, 25%
Because I have a
chance
+1 in fight, so
Yeah.
I have to roll a 3 here.
That's a 50% chance. A 3 or a 4 gets you a success.
It's a coin
Oh my
flip.
god.
You got this, I believe.
Oh my god.
Do you have adversity tokens that you can spend? Is there a thing that you can do to like make this better?
Well, I have Cool Under Pressure that says I spend 1 adversity token to take half the dice's value instead of rolling on a snap decision.
But that doesn't,
that doesn't
get you
help
there,
me.
unfortunately.
And Prepared allows me to spend 2 adversity tokens to have an item with me, but there's nothing here that's going to help. So no, this is just a roll. This
Alrighty.
is just a roll.
Do
Shoot
it.
this dude in the dick.
No.
We would have to explode a couple
I was
times.
gonna say,
for
how
that.
much is a targeted dick shot?
Also, I
That's
don't
a
know
lot of-
that
that's a
would
lot of
kill him.
fours.
That's not. Oh man, that's a 3 for the total of 4.
Yes!
You shoot him, and it catches him in the shoulder of the arm that he was bringing up, and you see that sputters out, and that action that Sara-Beth has taken snaps Tina. It sort of snaps you out of your like brain fog that you had with what's happened to Izzy, and you. Tears streaming down your face, you feel your arms drift up like they did that day on the mountain, and you see it the same way, you feel it the same way, and you move your hands, and that smoke starts to curl, and you feel wind rush down the stairwell as that smoke starts to curl and form, and you look at him just with anger and hate as that smoke curls around him and encompasses him in that helix that you saw in the book. And you see his skin start to age and sag on him like cloth hanging on bones. You see his hair grow long and then gray and then lank as it starts to fall out. And as you see it, as you see all of this happening, he kicks the ball, the remaining part of what's left of the ball. He kicks it back at you guys, and the smoke goes with it, and you lose concentration, and the smoke comes now at you four and engulfs you four in this thick, like this. It's that smell of old books. It's the smell of decay, not in a sort of a bad way, but like in the smell of like the trunk of a tree that's grown old and decaying, and it clings to you and it obscures your vision, and as it dissipates, he's gone.
Fuck.
I look for a blood trail. I winged him. I look for a
Yeah.
blood trail.
True.
You see it going up the stairs.
I run. I'm running.
I also run. I pull the rifle out and I run.
Yeah.
And I go,
You guys,
Tina, grab the ball. Grab the ball.
Is it broken?
Is it broken or is it like?
it is broken,
Oh.
and the smoke,
It's done.
it shattered, but like it was like a crack. It didn't like break into shards. You give chase. You race up the staircase. You following the blood that's dripped along, and you reach. You follow it all the way to the top, to the room that you guys found yourselves in the day before, or even no, that same night still. And you open the door, and you see the blood trail leads to that window that you had stared out of. And you look out of the window, and you just see a figure flying away. But the figure is still aged. The orb has done like some serious damage. He is wounded, and he is not in anything like he was when he arrived, and he disappears into the sky.
Damn it!
Well, if he can do it, maybe we can.
Fly?
Why not?
You want to try flying right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, can you
Don't
do
go
it?
run and jump.
Don't jump.
I'm gonna close hanger him down away from the window.
What is it?
I want to try.
You miss him, Trent. Your hand doesn't get hold of him, and Avery, you run, and you get to the point where you're putting your hands up on the windowsill, and you've got momentum, and you push, and there's a moment where you realize, I don't know what I do next, and then you panic. You're like, shit. It made sense, but for some reason in your brain, it felt like something would happen, or you would know what to do, or there would come a moment where you're like, oh yeah, I just fly, and that doesn't happen, and you kind of scramble, and then you stop, and you're like, oh.
Fuck.
Sorry.
Sara-Beth, we need to check on your uncle.
Yeah, we gotta go. Yeah, oh my god. I just shot a. Jeez.
That was a good shot.
Good try.
You did it.
didn't-
You hit him.
Sara-Beth, that's not a
Okay.
person, that's a monster.
Okay. Okay. Yep. Okay. Let's go. Should we go back through? I want to make sure. We should take Izzy back.
Maybe just you two. Do we leave him here?
I don't know if we can leave this castle undefended.
We can't
Maybe-
defend it. We don't have any. I don't
Maybe
know.
you
what-
guys go through, you and Tina, and me and Trent stay back, because who knows what the fuck he'll do if we all leave.
Well, we're gonna come back for you.
Yeah, just pop your head through, see if your uncle is okay, and then maybe bring him here.
I
Yeah.
don't
Bring
want
Uncle
to
Bill
split up.
here.
He'll be fast. It's way better that he's here than out there.
Just
Right.
an in and out.
It could be weeks.
What if we get stuck? I can't lose anyone else.
You have your blood. It opens the portals. It's fine. Just don't
And
die.
we got this, the thingy on our arm,
Okay.
right?
I'm
I mean,
pretty sure
walk
this
up-
allows us to do magic. I swear to God, I'm gonna fireball him. It's gonna happen.
I believe you. If anyone can do it, it's you, Avery.
I think I actually do believe you now.
We'll practice throwing fireballs out of
Yeah.
this window, and you go get your uncle.
Okay.
And I'm gonna
Shoot.
throw
Avery
Nothing
reaches
at the window.
into his pocket. Now this is up to Giannis's discretion. I would think that on Avery's breaks, being like slacker at the diner, does smoke cigarettes.
Yes.
I wouldn't say that Avery has like a pack on him right now, but do I have a Zippo?
Definitely
Absolutely.
has a lighter,
Oh, for
dude.
sure.
Absolutely has a lighter.
Amazing.
Well, if you didn't,
Then-
Sara-Beth would have at least matches.
then Avery, like being obsessed with this idea of now being able to do magic and throw a fireball, is going to pull out the Zippo and like light it and just like is gonna focus so hard on the flame, seeing that Billy could like saw the spark and is just gonna like just focus on the flame.
Yeah, you focus on that flame, and you could have sworn you saw it move a couple times like it should, but you don't make a fireball. You get like a control flame at best.
It's cool though.
I'm
You, like,
hearing
make it-
yet.
you-
That's what I'm
you make-
hearing. I'm
You
hearing
make
not
it like
yet.
bend.
Wait. Air, fire, Trent's either water or earth, Sara-Beth is either water or earth, and then our powers combined with Sam, who's obviously hard, we summon Captain Planet and we save Nexium.
Yep.
Sorry, we went to
Uh,
Captain Planet.
Uncle Bill is Captain Planet.
Yeah,
She's
he
pronounced
absolutely.
Captain Planet.
Speaking of Uncle Bill, I look
Yeah,
at
you
Tina.
guys rip down the stairs. You make it back to the portal. Sara-Beth, as you approach the portal, slightly ahead of Tina, it opens for you now, simply with the mark on your wrist.
Tina, do you want to stay here or do you want to
No,
come back?
I'll come with you. I'll come with you.
Okay, then we should. I'm gonna go out first just to make sure it's safe, and then we can bring Izzy out. We can't stay here. She deserves to be with your family.
Yeah, we don't know what's on the other side there.
Okay, let me go look. I'll just be a second. And
Okay.
I go up to the portal and I have my hunting rifle because this is my weapon now, apparently. And I walk through it.
As you come through the other side, you see that chamber underneath Mayfield that you guys left a week before now. And as you walk in, you see just absolute carnage. There's like 8 or 9 bodies in varying states of consciousness. As you walk through, you see Uncle Bill just picking a dude up and throwing him against a wall. Like, he has one-man armied this entire group.
Yes, he has.
And he looks up at you and he goes,
Hi.
Did she make it?
No,
I saw her going injured. And
we tried, but it was too late.
Billy?
I winged him. And then we broke it on him and then he flew away and he got out the window. I'm sorry. We tried.
No, you did so good. You did so good.
You okay? That's a stupid question. Are you hurt? That's a better
No,
one.
no, I'm not hurt. You see, he's totally fine. He's like,
Yeah, of course you are.
are the rest of you guys okay? Everyone's all right?
Yeah. Trent and Avery are, I think, trying to see if we can do magic now.
Mm-hmm.
And Tina's with Izzy on the other side. I just came through to see if it was safe because we're gonna bring Izzy out.
Yeah, I think we got most of them. Your friend Sam,
Sam.
was it? Yes. She's taken Tina's grandma back up.
Oh, good.
She's gonna wait at the truck. You guys should all come back, I think.
But I don't know if we should. And I show him the mark on my wrist. We all have it now.
All right. All right. Well, we'll deal with that.
Do you want to come?
I need permission from my superiors before I'm allowed to make an off-world trip.
I'm sorry, you're what? When
from
have
my
you
superiors.
ever needed permission to do anything?
You've just known me as your uncle, the farmer. When I work for a government agency, I need permission before I'm allowed off-world.
Uncle Bill, I'm sorry,
yeah.
but that's bullshit.
Listen, I think we should get you all back here. The rest of the NWT should be showing up soon. We'll do a debrief, and we'll figure out where we go from here.
Okay, I'm gonna pop back through and see what they think, but I don't think that Avery or Trent are gonna want to leave the Nexium undefended.
Well, he's not coming back
Where's
to the
he
castle.
going?
He'll probably try and reestablish some of his connections with other worlds. Maybe hop to a different world if there's any other worlds still connected to the Nexium. I assume if Earth's reconnected, there are others that have reconnected, but he's got no business left on Earth. He won't come back here. Put him in danger.
Okay. So it is
we
okay
will
if
have
we all
will have to
leave?
deal with him, but I think we got a bit of time. Sounds like you guys messed him up pretty good.
It's okay if we all leave the Nexium? Or should there always be somebody there?
No, you don't always need to be there. You're the only 4 who can get through. You're the only ones with the marks.
Okay. This is just like, I think I'm keeping up pretty okay, but this is like a lot.
No, it's a lot. It's definitely a lot.
I feel like going back to doing farm chores is going to be, that's going to be a hard transition back. But I also kind of only want to do that.
He walks up and gives you sort of like a half like side hug squeeze.
Oh no, I completely fold into him. Absolutely.
He pulls you close and he goes, I don't think you got much farm work in your future, my dear.
Okay. If you say so. I'm
go
gonna
go get your friends and
okay.
We'll figure this out.
Is there a guy that's like semi-conscious?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't like murder everybody. He just like stopped them as much as they needed stopping. So there's
Do any of them look like they're like moving towards aggression, or are they just down and out at this point?
No. They're pretty all down and out. They've all been vanquished.
That's good. If I lock eyes with any one of them, I think there's going to just be like
just mean mug the
absolutely.
dudes.
Sara-Beth
as you stand
never
next to like Rambo.
Yeah, Sara-Beth has never mean mugged anybody in her life and is taking the opportunity to do so on people she knows won't hurt her back at this point. So I walk through the portal again and see Tina there. We can all go back. Uncle Bill says we don't have to stay here. He doesn't think Billy's going to come back. He's nothing left on Earth that he needs.
Tina realizes she's been inadvertently holding her breath the entire time Sara-Beth was gone. And so she kind of catches her breath and goes, okay, so should we get the others?
Yeah, I holler down the hall for Avery and Trent.
Hey, Avery?
I almost got it.
Yeah, no, do you think it's weird that I'm bummed that Sam wasn't there when we exploded that car?
Huh?
She would have really liked that.
Oh.
I just feel bad, obviously she's into fire. And like we need a healthy outlet, and that was a good fire. Like that was,
Oh, you mean for like the pyro?
We exploded a car. That was sick.
I thought you were trying to impress Sam.
No, I'm just like that was authorized pyromania and
Yeah.
Oh, shit! I think I just heard Sara-Beth yelling. We should You got the fireball going? You good?
I'm trying.
Yeah, let's see what she has to say.
Okay, we're fucking superheroes now.
Yeah, I've also realized that, did Tina do like wind shit?
I think so.
Yeah, so you've got the magic of fire, Tina's
Yeah.
got the magic of wind, and Sara-Beth and I have the magic of gun. So that's cool.
I mean, so far,
That's-
the most effective one has been the magic of gun. So
yeah, guns are effective.
And as I see them coming down, I suppose, towards me and Tina, I relay briefly what my Uncle Bill had said.
Giannis,
Mm-hmm.
now as Avery walks down and is like paying attention to not just the fire,
Yeah.
as I'm looking at my friends, that smoke hit us, right?
Yeah.
Are we older? Do we look like I can't look at myself, but like as I look at my friends now standing there, do we look older?
Give me a brains roll.
Okay,
I
M
was gonna say,
Night.
the
Beach that
smoke
makes
was
you old.
smoke aged him because it cut him off from the
Yeah, but then he
magic
blew
that
it
stopped
back.
him from aging.
Yeah,
Yeah, but then he blew it back at us. I don't know how this shit works.
But we don't have any magic.
He's got to do a
for
brains
anything
roll.
from
That's what we're
aging.
It's
waiting
good.
on.
This
It's
is
good.
7.
A 7. That's enough. You get the impression that the smoke made you the age that you are, and you guys are the age that you are.
Avery's now
You
35.
You guys might be like a week older because you spent a week here, but you are essentially the same age.
Oh, I think Avery looks a little disappointed with the whole like superhero idea. It's like, oh, we're not just all magically jacked now. Fine.
Well, not yet.
I don't need magic. Avery, if you want to, I got a workout regime I think you'd love.
Can we get Izzy out of this place?
Can we like carry her out?
Yeah,
You guys
I can get her if you
make your way back through the portal and back out of the tunnel through the cinema, and the next couple of days, week is a blur. You all make your way back home. The NWT helps sort of square things away. Stories for your absences are given, and they do what they do best. They sweep things under the rug. Tina, your grandmother escapes relatively unharmed, but the loss of Izzy is very, very hard for her. Trent, Sara-Beth, and Avery, your parents are told that it was part of some sort of training exercise to assess the response time for abducted children, and it was some government-run training exercise.
Such awesome. That is such a lawsuit.
Just
your parents-
no consent to that at all.
Hey, we
Nobody
abducted
gave
your
it.
kids to make sure that if your kids get abducted, they'll be safe. I hope that's
Your
good.
parents-
Bye.
I mean, no, they pretended to abduct your kids to see how quickly abducted kids could be tracked down. It's not really believed, but most of your parents are just happy to have you back, that they don't really ask too many questions. And as much as you guys have questions and want answers, it's as though the adults are being adults again. They are not giving you answers. They're sort of expecting you guys to go back to your regular lives. When you try and ask about it, you're told to wait. And the only reason you guys don't pursue it further is because Uncle Bill promises that he will give you guys answers when it's time, and that it won't be long. And that's why one day he comes and he tracks you all down, and he tells you that you've all been called for. What did you want to do in that week, Trent?
In that week, I would go to Tina's house. Hey, Tina. can you and I use the closet?
Yeah.
I just
Sure.
want to try something.
Okay. Yeah, my grandma's out at the doctor, so
Can we get back into Nexium through the closet?
You cannot.
I was gonna try and make a portal to my room from Nexium. You know, like ease of access. Maybe make one in the break room at the burger place.
Why
Do
can't
we
why
work
can't
at
we
the
use it?
burger?
What happens?
You get the impression that the one in your room was very much coded only to Izzy.
Oh. Then I'll try to sneak into the movie theater.
All right.
That's what Avery was going to do over the week.
Yeah. I think I would get everyone together and be like, let's
Getting the gang back together.
We're the protectors of Nexium. They don't get to fucking tell us what to do.
Okay. All right. Well, you don't wait for.
I think
Bill to-
no. I think Sara-Beth would put up a mild amount of protest. She trusts her Uncle Bill.
We don't have to like do stuff in there. I just want to set up some like in and outs, you know?
I
Some
know.
convenient ones that aren't in
I
the basement
know.
of the
Also
basement
just-
of a movie theater.
Go ahead, Yanis.
I don't know if you would remember this, Trent, and you might still choose to go about it in this way, but you know that it took years for Izzy to figure out how to cast the magic that allowed her to build a portal between her, like an off the books portal. It's not like she was stuck there and then the next day went and drew an arch on the wall and said, "I go now here."
I think that's Sara-Beth's voice of like Sara-Beth and Tina being like, wait, that took so long. And okay, look, Uncle Bill, and you can call him Uncle Bill. He's not just Bill to you, he's your uncle too, because that's just how it works, okay? So he's gonna come through. I trust him. Trent, he gave you like 5 guns. Okay?
He
And
gave
he
me a
gave you
bunch of
bullets
guns.
too.
But imagine what we could do with 5 fireballs.
Yeah, I know, Avery. We have to, like, I hate it, and I am loathing the thought of having to go back to work, and I love the Explorers, and I want nothing to do with it. I want to go back, and I want to sit in those books, and I want to learn.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we just,
Then let's
we have a lifetime to
Okay.
do that.
Once I step through that portal, I'm not coming back here.
What, Avery?
What did you say?
There's no reason to come back. You've obviously been chosen for something. There's nothing for me here.
Okay.
What, a dead-end job at a diner?
counteroffer. We don't sneak into the movie theater. Bomber. We don't get to practice magic. Bomber. We should train. Let's just go to Sara-Beth's farm. Practice shooting. Practice swords. I don't know,
We're
like
not superheroes, Trent.
Yet.
I don't think we're superheroes, but I'm saying with a gun, we're more effective.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Your uncle's basically a superhero.
Yeah,
okay, I'm pretty convinced that that's like,
I saw
I don't
all
think
those
he's like a
dudes your uncle
superhero. I
did
just
in.
think he saw some stuff in the war, okay?
Your
he
uncle
did
kicked
some
the shit
stuff
out
in
of
the
like
war.
12 dudes alone.
Other people saw your uncle, and that scarred them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've all seen some
Okay.
shit.
we've all seen some stuff. Yeah, okay. So,
Let's go shoot some guns
okay.
and practice swords.
And Trent,
Guns
let's
and
wait
swords.
one week, and if we don't hear from Bill, we can go ourselves.
Can we practice guns and swords in that week though? That's all
Oh,
I'm saying.
absolutely. I don't.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying let's go to
Okay,
Nexium because
but if we
obviously we
do
can't make
it-
a portal. Guns and swords.
we do it safely.
Yeah.
We establish
Probably.
rules, and that we fire with training bullets, and we play with blunted
Does your
swords.
uncle have training bullets?
I don't know.
I think
Okay.
we just use bullets and shoot cans.
Yeah, but what if? Okay, a first aid kit that I have doesn't fix bullets.
We're not gonna shoot each other. We'll use
Misfires can
gun
happen. Okay, that's the
safety.
first rule of gun safety, Trent. Jeez.
That is true. But
Yeah. Okay. So if we're going to
Well,
my farm, we
I
Yeah.
didn't
We're
know
doing this
any
on my
rules of
farm.
gun safety.
we
Now
play
I
this
know
by
one
my
rule
rules.
of gun safety. So thank you.
another
So,
rule: don't point it at other people
That's
unless
2
you're
rules.
ready to kill them.
How many rules are there out of curiosity?
Many,
A few.
so
Many. And at this point, it's a montage of us walking towards Sara-Beth's farm while we're waiting for the adults to let us back in on the fun stuff.
You find yourselves a week later. You're on the farm, training, practicing.
I feel like two of us are shooting guns, two of us are hitting each other with sticks.
Yeah. And inadvertently, you look more like children than you've ever looked.
absolutely.
It's covered
I'm in
in
the stick
welts and
group.
bruises.
Ow.
And
ow.
Uncle Bill finds you there and says, "All right, well, they're ready to see you now." And he loads you all up in the pickup truck and he takes you to the cinema. And you guys walk into the cinema, and it's very different than the last time you saw it. You see that the NWT has moved in here in large numbers. They have essentially taken over the cinema under the guise that asbestos has been found and needs to be cleaned up. And it is officers of all different varieties. Desks have been moved into the theater. The screen is being projected as all sorts of readings from magnetic fields down below. There's groups of scientists with clipboards walking, discussing things. It's like the scene out of E.T. almost, like when they go through the tubes. They've sort of taken over this cinema. You move into the theater, and they sort of pull you aside into like a little, what would have been the office of the cinema manager, the little business office that they would have had. And you see a man there in a gray suit and tie, and he sits down he's sitting at a one of those like metal desks. And there's 4 chairs on the other side, and he sort of gestures for you guys to sit across from him.
We'll see.
He introduces himself as Miles. He says, "Good afternoon. I'm Miles." And then he looks up at Uncle Bill, and he says, "Lieutenant Montgomery, you can wait outside."
Lieutenant?
And your uncle steps out, and the 4 of you sit, and he goes, "It's a pleasure to meet you 4. Apologize for the time it's taken to set up this meeting properly. We wanted to get a real good handle of what's going on here, how we can best support you. There was also a little bit of logistics. I don't know how much your uncle explained to you. We share. There are 2 other worlds that have access to us from different points on the planet. Our neighbors, essentially. They don't have access to the Nexium. We're cut off when we were cut off. Understandably, it is a tricky subject with the ambassadors from those worlds now that we have contact, the ability to travel back to Nexium, and they do not, especially when it was our fault that we were all severed. So there's a little bit of a political, that's not your guys' thing to worry about. There are a lot of dudes in suits and ties who can, like myself, who can take care of the politicking. But we need you guys. You guys are our best hope. There's been a sighting of Richard. He was spotted on Tyne, which is one of our neighboring worlds. We believe he used a portal from the Nexium and has been hopping planets. He can't get back through using the Nexium, but he can get back through from Tyne. And we believe he's trying to get back to Earth to sort of reestablish his forces, reconnect with those who were supporting him. It is our hope that you four will journey to Tyne and attempt to intercept him as he tries to come back to Earth.
Can we take the lieutenant?
Yes. Lieutenant Montgomery will be accompanying you.
Can I have a real gun?
Yes, you will be outfitted, trained.
Yes.
We were going to make sure that we give you guys the best opportunity to succeed. You will also be trained in Tyne. I don't know if you know much about Tyne.
You can assume that we know nothing about anything. Okay, so you can.
All right.
Except that we know that we're the guardians of.
Uncle Bill doesn't exactly like
Yeah.
to talk a lot.
Well,
Tell
that's
us
good.
everything.
I mean, Tyne is, well, I assume you know magic exists.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of our neighbors, the one reality or the one world is very technologically advanced. No magic. Ours is. It's questionable if magic is capable here. Tyne is very magical. It is. Let's just say the people who come through from the one world, people think are aliens. The people who come through from the other world, people think are fantasy creatures. Hence where all the stories come from.
Are you telling me you're going to train us in magic over on this other world?
If you are gifted with the ability to learn it, you'll be able to learn it. You'll only be able to use it while you're there. It doesn't work here. That's why you got to go train there.
Yes.
You
Fireball.
can cast your fireball, Avery.
Fucking
Avery can do
fireball.
fire magic. And I
We
think
think.
Tina can do wind magic.
It's pretty impressive.
I'm a
Sara-Beth
pretty good
and I
shot,
have
so you know.
guns.
They have gun magic.
They're gunbenders.
But in all seriousness, Miles, what about? This seems really stupid of me to ask, but like, I'm still in high school. Is that education not important anymore?
I mean,
I mean, it doesn't feel like it is. I'm just feeling like I need to say it just because
You can just like sign a paper, right? And then that's kind of like,
oh
school's
yeah,
done.
like if you're worried about having a degree to show to your parents, we can take care of that.
Oh,
Can our parents know? I mean, my parents know some of this.
Your parents work for us. They can know. Your parents, you can't tell them.
okay.
Sara-Beth.
We'll come up with some sort of story, camp for the gifted, special program.
They're like never gonna believe
It's-
that.
No, it's cool. I'll just tell my dad I'm at football camp and he won't give a shit.
Perfect.
Whoever you send to tell, just send it to my mom.
You're not going to go tell them yourself?
Oh.
I mean, you don't have to, but generally when people leave, they tell their parents themselves. But
You know, I thought it was going to be more immediate, so
Avery,
I will.
you can come to football camp with me. You'd make a really good kicker.
I'll just tell my parents that I'm at like an Explorers extended retreat or something. They'll believe that.
No, I know. It's just
I'm
such
sure
a
they will.
good.
I'm really high up in the Mayfield Explorers chapter. Okay.
I guess I'll tell my parents I'm just going to work.
all right, well,
When do we leave?
we'll give you a couple of days to get your things in order. Give us a bit of a chance to get some documents made up, excuses. We're gonna have to find a bunch of kids to
Is
work
that
at
the
JJ's.
government term? Excuses? I just wondering.
Yeah, I mean, we do sweeping under the rug better than most people.
Okay, but if you're gonna find people to work
Okay.
at JJ's, my vegetarian burgers are really good. They have to keep the vegetarian burger on the menu. I know JJ was only humoring me because I worked there, but they're really good.
They all
Is
good.
JJ's a
Alright,
cover?
Write that down.
Yeah, Miles,
Pardon?
that's really important. Okay.
Is JJ's a cover? Like, why do you have to? If we just quit our jobs, doesn't JJ have to hire new people? Like,
Yeah, but I mean, it's going to be a lot of questions if the entire staff of JJ's just disappears.
We're one whole shift, Trent.
JJ will be pissed.
at you.
Yeah, that is where we are going to end Mayfield Mysteries Season 1.
Season
What?
one.
There's a fucking training montage between seasons? I'm running upstairs. I'm running down those stairs. I'm pumping my fist to the top of the stairs.
To give people a bit of an idea of what the plan is if we do future seasons, depending on how this goes. Every world you guys go to, you will play a different game type.
Oh, that's sick, dude!
So
Earth,
That's really
Earth is
fun.
kids on
Fucking
bikes.
cool.
Tyne will be D&D, and then if we go to other worlds, we'll play different game types that fit
That's
really
those
fun.
worlds.
Fucking
That sounds
dope.
so fun.
It's a
Can we
great
just-
idea.
Can we just decide on season 2 right now? Yes. I'm in.
I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm
I wanna
down.
do that.
It sounds
Season
really
2.
fun.
Yeah.
You gotta make people like want it though.
Yeah, if
They
you don't
already,
listen, you don't get
listening
season
this far,
2.
they
Yeah,
already
exactly.
want it. Okay.
Thank you everyone for joining us. It's been an absolute treat. Thank you to all of you guys for playing. It's been really, really fun to sort of come up with this world, and I'm excited to sort of branch these characters off into new and different adventures.
Dude,
Also-
I'm already thinking of the D&D character
Yeah,
that
so am I.
Trent
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Also, can we all just give a really big, podcast round of applause for Yanis for his first time game mastering?
Great job, Yanis. That was super
So
fun.
good.
Great job,
Yanis.
Yanis.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
really
that was
fun.
awesome.
I loved all the little stories opening the episodes.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
good.
I tried to sort of have these little narrative vignettes because it's such a short format that I have everyone. I wanted to sort of build these little bit of like emotional connections with their past and sort of little vignettes of who they are or why they are the way they are.
Okay, here's my pitch. Is if you have been listening to Mayfield Mysteries and you are as in love with it as we are, if you have questions for us as a cast, but what we would love to do is have you send those questions along to us by either by socials or by email or in our Discord. And what we'll do is we'll do our best to answer those questions as we do our character creation for season 2. So we'll probably film that and do that all together, record that and do that all together here over podcast for folks who and that'll probably go up on Patreon. But if you have any questions, we would love to answer those for you about this wonderful little series that I very quickly fell in love with.
All right, everyone, thank you so much, and have a great rest of your guys' summer, and we'll see you maybe in the fall.
See you at the diner.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Sara-Beth Montgomery was played by M. Tina Watkins was played by Jess. Trent Kessler was played by Adam. And Avery Campbell was played by Cody. And I'm your Game Master, Yana, saying thank you and good night.